is speaking out about his 7-year separation from Jada Pinkett Smith and her bombshell memoir, Worthy.
Jada and I have, we weathered some storms, and that's really, for me, the only way that you can get to the other side.
In a new interview with the New York Times, Jada opens up about some of the revelations she shares in her book, including her past suicidal inclinations, depression, the use of hallucinogens to help explore her mental health issues, and her unique marital status with Will, whom she married in 1997. And Will weighs in on all of that in an email to the publication, saying that reading the book reminded him of how strong his wife truly is. When you've been with someone for more than half of your life, a sort of emotional blindness sets in. You can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just not quitting, you know?
And it seems like Will isn't listening to all the chatter online because on Sunday, he shared this clip lounging on a boat, writing in the caption, "Notifications off." Last week, the actress.
I get it. First of all, welcome to Real Talk with Darius. I'm Darius, your host. Thank you for joining me. When I think about Will, I go back some 25 years ago, where when he came out, he played in the television show, the sitcom, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, one of my favorite shows all time. And then he hit the big screen, and in Independence Day, he played in also Enemy of the State, some good movies, some for me classic movies. Then I remember when Jada came out. She played in another show called TV show called A Different World. It was A Different World, and so I remember when they first hit the big screen, and I really enjoyed their characters. I thought they done a wonderful job and all that kind of stuff. And to fast forward to now and to see the type of things they have gone through and are going through, is very disappointing. I mean, I understand things happen. I understand there's no perfect relationship, no perfect person on earth. I get that. But this public breakup, which is basically what it is, whether Will wants to admit it or not, is trying, and it just goes to show that if you don't have the proper foundation, if you don't build your relationship, first of all, as an individual, and secondly, joining with someone in relationship, especially at that level of intimacy, and neither one of y'all have a solid foundation to base your lives off, your moral compasses, just your relationship off of, these type of things result. And then on top of it, you bring kids into it, either they were born into it or they were brought into it. It becomes a very toxic type of situation. It's crazy. We're getting ready to go finish listening to this part of the story about Jada, holding on to, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but holding on to the memory of a ghost of what could have been or shoulda, woulda, could have been. There are times when you have to move on, and that's a message for Will. There are times when you have to move on. That doesn't mean you've given up as if you're defeated. That simply means you've given up. You can only do as much as you can do. When someone else is involved, they also have a part to play.
Sat down with NBC News' Hoda Kotb and revealed she and Will have been leading completely separate lives since 2016, even though they never officially divorced.
Divorce is not an option. We're going to be together. So we're going to figure out how to be happy.
So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Then, over the weekend, during a conversation on...
See, again, you can't make anyone do anything. You really can't. I know we try to. We wish we could just shoot somebody with a bow and arrow, an arrow of love, and they just fall in love and head over heels, and y'all go down the path to happily ever after. But that just is unrealistic. When people have made certain decisions, you have to respect. You may not like the decision, but you have to respect that they've made a decision. And I'd rather someone make a decision rather than play this game of, well, are we in, are we out? And then, the word games, being played. Jada said she doesn't even want to use the word divorce. They just, they split up. So basically, you have two married people living like single people, but they still married. That makes no sense. It's like saying that I'm broke, but you got $100,000 in the bank. What do you mean you're broke? Either you broke, which means you have no money, or you're not. Either you're married or you're not. I get this modern day type redefining of words and all that kind of stuff, but historically, and I know some people want to get away from that, but historically, either you are something or you're not, or you're in a process of something. But all these word games, these word salads, no sir.
Talk Shop Live with her mom, Adrienne Banfield Norris, Jada said she and Will are in a beautiful place now.
As far as Will, my relationship with him, like we went through that long period of separation in order for us to journey separately and do some journeying together. And it just seems as though we've come to a really, really beautiful place together. So I'm happy. Yeah, that's where I am in this chapter of my life. I am finally happy.
And on Monday, Jada clarified that she and the Oscar winner are working hard to bring their relationship together during a stop by the Today Show.
There's no finding another great love. We are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space. And we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us. There's no divorce on paper.
I mean, not on paper. There might not be a divorce in theory anymore.
Yeah, no. I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is.
See, there you go. Word salad. There's no divorce on paper. So if there's no divorce on paper, then there's a divorce is in theory, as Hoda was saying. I mean, you can't, people, again, these word games, they got to go. Any real man and any real woman worth their salt is going to say, listen, you got to make a choice, baby. You got to make a choice. That's in anything, no. That's not just in these relationships. That's in anything. You got to choose whether you're going to be healthy or sick, happy or sad, prosperous or poor, have a home, have a place to stay, or homeless. Those are really your choices. Again, I'm not talking about those situations where people found themselves in situations beyond their control. I'm talking about the things you can control.
Accepts me for the human that I am, and we want to love each other there.
Okay, so you might like live in the same house and have the same.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about is people have to be willing to make the right decisions, the tough decisions. You need to move on. You need to move on. It's what it really comes down to. You can't play these games. And you have to have, again, a proper foundation. Matter of fact, this next story is about a young man who's starting off young. He's 16 years old at the time. This is somewhere around 5 years or so ago. And he made a pitch for help to someone he looks up to. And, sometimes, we can all look back on our lives, or many of us can look back on our lives and look at those opportunities that we were given. We had chances to make better decisions, to get the help that we needed, and we simply rejected it, because at the time it wasn't the cool thing or wasn't something we wanted to do. But, it cost us. So I'm not saying that so we can look back and beat ourselves up or beat ourselves down. It's just something for us to remember. And I hope this next one really blesses you. And I hope Will and Jada can, find their happiness. This story is not exactly linked to it, but it does.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Harvey. I'm 16 years old. Born and raised in California, LA. I was raised by my single mom. And I have just a question for you saying, I need a mentor. And I would like for you to be my mentor. But also, I need to know how to, I'm sorry, I don't have it.
No, see, you all right. See, listen, man.
I feel mentor and passion.
And then find a mentor you can connect with.
I need to find a mentor to connect with, and I don't know my passion when I get out of high school. I don't know what I want to do, so I just need help figuring that out.
Yeah. See, look, man, that's what this kid been in my camp. He's a junior counselor. Junior counselor is kids that come to the camp who excel at the camp. We invite them back. We invite 10 or 20 of them back every year to like talk to the kids for us. Because, you know, when we ain't around, some of these dudes go to the side and say, hey, man, you tripping. They really trying to help us over here. Because we get the worst of the worst. Yeah. I get dudes in here, man, that ain't got no fathers, and they up in here, they banging. These dudes come from really dark backgrounds, and they like you, they don't have a male influence, you know, and I understand what that is. And so he's a junior counselor, so he can turn around. He turned right around to this kid and tried to help him, because that's what we teach them at our camp. Without me.
See, that's what it's about. Having someone in your life. Listen, this young man didn't ask for the other guy to help him out, but he saw something. He heard something that he felt like he really needed and he could benefit from if he was given the opportunity. Matter of fact, he took the opportunity to reach out and ask for some help. Sometimes young men, young women, people in general, you need to just ask. Don't hope someone will come across your path. Ask. Put yourself out there. I know it's scary sometimes, but put yourself out there. Just ask.
Me having to say anything to him. We teach you right away that you are your brother's keeper. A young boy without a role model is like an explorer without a map. You don't know the way to manhood. If you don't get a man in your life, you don't know the way. It's hard, man, because manhood, you can't figure it out by yourself. It's ugly, man. And young boys, what happens is we're going to emulate some man. Now, if we got bad men around us, we're going to be one of them. You put some good men around us, we would rather do it the right way. But if that's...
See, that's what it's about. Association brings on assimilation. Your environment matters. So if you're around the wrong crowd, it's going to impact you. If you're around the right crowd, it's going to impact you. Now, what you do with that impact is entirely up to you, but you're going to be impacted.
Nothing but bad around you, that's which way they're going to do. So this is what I'm going to do for you, Terry, to help you out, because I can't do it in this one session. I'm going to send you to my mentoring camp this year. You're 16. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to give you all the help and the guidance you need. You coming back this year as a JC? Sir. You're going to be responsible for him. Gotcha. That's your dude right there. Yeah. And I'm going to teach you. Real men go to church. Real men respect women. Real men obey the law. Real men take care of their children. Real men go to work every day. Real men honor God. That's what real men do. And then when you have a child, all you got to know is what your father wasn't for you. I want you to be that for them. Don't ever repeat what your father did to you. And that's all I have. I think that'll be great, man. So you come. Thank you all for sharing your thoughts today.
See, man, that is rich. That is awesome. I mean, that is absolutely awesome. Can you imagine 5 years later what that young man's life is like if he applied those principles and took full advantage of that opportunity? Again, I'm not saying he made every single decision correctly or the right decision every single turn. What I am saying is, where would his life be without that type of opportunity? What would have happened had he not even mustered up the courage to ask Steve, would you be willing to mentor me, to help me? I don't know how to be a man. I grew up in a single family household. That is wonderful. I applaud that young man. So I wonder what his life is like today. And this last clip I'm going to show you is of my mentor, where, putting this all together, that this helped me make so many wise decisions. I've still made some wrong ones. I still made some mistakes. I promise you that. But I've also made a lot of wise decisions and stayed out of a lot of situations that could have put me in a different place. All because it was just a blessing. All because I grew up with the type of mentoring and example that I needed, but also I applied a lot of the information that I was given. And I hope Will and Jada, as they move forward, do the same. Because I don't know what their upbringing was like. I hadn't read her book, probably won't. But I don't know if they had the parents, there, a supportive family structure in their upbringing or not. But somewhere along your path, there's somebody, I believe, that was sent to help you, to help each of us get on the narrow, right path so that we can have a wonderful life. So let's check out this last clip.
I have picked up hitchhiker relationships that's slowing you down. And you can't change keeping the same company. Why are you surprised you're a loser if you run with losers?
See? 100%. Why are you surprised if you run with losers? Why are you surprised you make bad decisions if that's what you've been practicing doing? That's the key. That's the question. We want things to change. We want things to happen organically or by osmosis. We have to protect ourselves. We can't leave that to chance. We can't leave that to somebody else, man. I mean, this is real. Life is real. And I know all of us have our own stories. I just know I wouldn't be where I'm at right now had I not had this type of leadership and this type of guidance in my life. And that young man we just talked about, Jada and Will, I may talk about Tyrese and his ex-wife, in another video. But my point with this is this. Life is choice-driven. Avail yourself to the right help, the assistance, the mentoring, the guidance that you need. And it's going to be tough, but you may have to reevaluate some of the relationships that you're in and be careful who you're listening to, because they may be leading you down the wrong path. Sometimes even unintentionally. Listen, I appreciate you tuning in. Check me out next time. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and set your notifications so you don't miss any more content.